It all starts with a story, but not just any story. We have the greatest source material available to us in the incredible stories of the Bible. And once we have settled on a story, then we immediately begin to ask, how can we bring this to life? And that's when we start the process of writing and producing an original musical production.
When I began writing the play, I always end up going back and reading about 3 or 4 commentaries. And when I read the commentaries, what I'm looking for is information about that time period, information about the particular person in the Bible that I'm writing about, what was happening during that time period, why there is a spiritual significance to that time period or to that person's story. And that information ends up getting in the script in various ways. I also try to provide context for the students. When they are performing, they need to understand the time period, what was happening in the world during that time period, why that person's story in the Bible is so significant, and why we are performing that story. And so when I'm writing, these are things that I want to convey to the students and for them to understand. And I want the audience to understand what's happening during that time period and why this story is so important to tell.
The process of writing music for these productions is really exciting and challenging all at the same time. And I never even imagined that I would find myself writing original musical productions. Basically, I try to take the story of whatever Bible character it is we're focusing on and turn that into a legitimate musical. And that means writing songs to express what they were thinking and feeling and really trying to bring out their emotion in that moment. And so some of the songs are light and humorous. Some express anger, some deep sorrow, some reverent worship. And it's really just been such a great experience to try to bring the story to life through music. And I'm always amazed at how God works all of this together, and the script and the music just mesh perfectly when all is said and done.
So we have a script and we have music, and now we have to begin the process of bringing this thing to life, to bring these characters alive, if you will. The teens audition for us, they sing for us, we assign them parts, and that's all done on Monday. And then Tuesday starts the hard work. Practice, practice, practice every single day. An hour of speech practice, an hour of music practice, an hour of speech practice, and so on and so on and so on. With the hopes of bringing their characters to life, of giving them nuances on how to say lines, on where to stand, how to stand, and as always, and we have to tell them this all the time, be louder so that people can hear you. That carries on throughout the week. And then what we always find is come the middle of the week, towards the end of the week, we finally see sparks of inspiration amongst the students and the campers. We see them owning their characters. We see them doing exactly what they need to do. And by the end of the week, we have a final production. We sit back and we look at God's mercy and grace, and we see how fantastic of a thing He's provided us, especially as we finish up with the final product.
At the end of the week, we get to watch these students as they perform the final production. And in the course of all this, we very often see that they've learned some kind of spiritual truth. And that's the goal. We want them to understand not just the play and be able to sing the music and be able to bring the production to life, but throughout the week, they will attend chapel and they'll learn more about the character and more about the people involved. They'll develop backstories for the characters that they're portraying, who may not actually show up by name in the Bible, but we know that other people were involved in this character's story, this person's story. And we want them to understand that these were real people living real experiences. And we want them to understand the spiritual truths behind that. And so at the end of the week, we very often see the light bulb go off, where the students understand exactly what was going on and what we've been trying to get them to understand throughout the week. And they learn something. They learn something about God's mercy. They learn something about God's grace. And more than anything, they learn something about God's love for us.
This camp is so much more than just music and drama. It really is an actual camp. So we have all of those fun elements of camp. We have the games and the competitions. We have chapel every day with powerful preaching. We have great food, and there's so many fun activities that go into making this camp what it is, in addition to all the rigorous rehearsal and workshops and all those different elements. But when we say that this camp is more than music and drama, what we really mean is that it's about more than just putting on a production. It's about more than just teaching them how to act and how to sing. It's about immersing them in the truths of the Word of God and equipping them for going out into the world and sharing those truths with others in meaningful and impactful ways.
You've heard us tell you about the great experience we have doing this, but we need your help to bring these characters, these stories to life. Join us for a live camp.